What's up, everybody? This is Corey, and we are out here at Churchill Downs for another year of Dawn at the Downs. All right, let's take a look. Well, it was another early morning out here at Churchill Downs, but you know, it's always worth it to see these horses out here. Unfortunately, we aren't blessed with a magnificent sunset like we've had in the past years, but you know, that's the way that it goes sometimes. All right, this year is also a special year because it marks the return of Bob Baffert. So he's been out for 3 years on suspension, and he's back this year. So we'll see if he can actually make a run. Well, this year I wisened up a little bit and decided to do it a little bit different. So instead of trying to do everything on the same day, I decided to take photos on a couple days, and then on this third day, I'm actually doing the video. So hopefully this will be a little bit of a better finished product. We'll see. Well, you know you're getting close when the tractors are out prepping the track, because shortly after they do this, the horses will come out. Just to review a little bit, so you will know the different types of horses based on the silks that are on the saddle. So yellow is for the Derby, and pink is for the Oaks. And it'll all happen really fast because all those horses come out and they run for about 15 to 20 minutes at most, and that's really about it. So be prepared. And the first horse out is Citizen Bull. It is actually a horse trained by Bob Baffert. And we're following that up with Grande, who is a Todd Pletcher horse. Again.
They normally run clockwise. They run counterclockwise.
Lacara is another Oaks contender, and it is trained by Mark Cassie. Here we have Baeza, who actually placed third in the Derby this year.
Yeah, I don't have the kind of energy for that anymore.
And there is Luxor Cafe, who is the second Japanese horse in the Derby. Here we have Baeza showing off his personality a little bit. Right?
With me, it's just an event like that wears me out. We used to go to football games up at Notre Dame.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah, we had season tickets for like 11 years, and it wears you out. It's an all-day deal, you know?
Oh, yeah. If you let you do that without having a fairly, high-priced ticket.
Well, the nice thing about those football games, we only live 20 minutes from the stadium. So we can go over and tailgate, and then just go home and watch from the living room.
Nice.
It's like going to 500. I've got a friend that's got 500.
Here we get to look at Grande again in slow-mo. Unfortunately, Grande had to scratch before the Derby. Here's Bob Baffert trained Tenma, who was his lone entry into the Oaks this year. Right?
Yeah, I don't think so. He leaves at 4 o'clock in the morning, doesn't get back.
With that, you're talking about a much, much more sizable crowd,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
because
big.
Indianapolis
He takes a
Speedway.
bus down.
Okay.
So at least he doesn't have to drive. They do a bus trip.
And coming down on the front stretch is Flying Mohawk. Trained by Whit Beckman, who is a Louisville native, along with Brad Cox.
It's not like you can see anything. You're just there, you know. You hear the cars.
Here's Fondley. Here's a slower look at Citizen Bull again. Citizen Bull actually won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile in his 2-year-old season. Here's a better look at Bless the Broken again, who's trained by William Walden, and actually placed 3rd in the Kentucky Oaks. And here is Flying Mohawk. As you get a look, he had a little bit of a stumble here, which gave me a bit of a scare. It shows you how easy that a horse can get injured out here.
No, on the straights, it's unbelievable.
Here's a nice slow-mo of Burnham Square, trained by Ian Wilkes, who is actually from New South Wales, Australia. And here's Co-Battle again, who is trained by Lonnie Briley, who is a sentimental pick for the Derby because he's a longtime trainer of 30 years, and this is his first Derby horse. Here's Baeza again, who actually was an alternate to be in the Derby. And not only that, he placed 3rd after getting in when another horse scratched. This is cool because you see the 2 Japanese horses going at it, which I think is really neat. And here's a closer look at 5G again. Unfortunately, 5G had a scratch prior to the Oaks. And here's a slow-mo of Good Cheer, who was your Oaks winner, trained by Brad Cox, Louisville native, and then followed by Flying Mohawk, the Whit Beckman horse. Here we get to see Early On slowly, and Early On is trained by Saffy Joseph Jr. Here we get another look at Fondley, and Fondley is trained by H. Graham Motion. She ended up finishing 11th. Here's Neo Equus again, trained by Saffy Joseph Jr. And he ended up placing 13th in the Derby. And we get another look here at Early On, who's going at a little bit of a faster pace than the horse following, who is Chunk of Gold, trained by Ethan West. Popular pick for a lot of Olympic athletes. Here we have Quick Kick, who was trained by Thomas Amos. Ended up placing 7th in the Oaks. And here's Render Judgment, who was another alternate to be in the Derby and got in because of a scratched horse. This one is a cool horse just because it is actually owned by the late Toby Keith, who is a country singer who passed away not long ago from cancer. So for country music, a lot of fans wanted to see this horse win. This is kind of the point where the Oaks and Derby horses started to wind down, and then you're starting to see some of the other horses come out to do their workouts. That's not to say that you wouldn't see any of the Derby or Oaks horses, but some will hang around a little bit longer.
No, we're from Acton, South Bend.
This actually threw me off because you see these saddle towels on there, and they are also the color of the Derby horses. That's actually the Bob Baffert stable, which makes me wonder if he might have done that intentionally, perhaps. I'm not sure. But it threw me off pretty much every single time I was out at the track. Another thing about seeing the other horses come out, they actually hang out until like about 10 a.m. So if you want to just hang out and just look at horses doing their morning workouts, you know, it's a great way to experience all of that and have a nice morning.
Have you seen Sandy?
No worries.
No problem.
This has a different look to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
or two of them. I think it's horse coming over your left shoulder. I think the red one is.
I don't golf anymore. It's always a beautiful thing to see you open up in Michigan.
Here's the part of the video where we'll start to take a look around the facility a little bit. And we'll start with looking at the iconic twin spires of Churchill Downs. Now we pop to the opposite side of those twin spires to see the new paddock area, which I showed you last year. Here's another look at it. So this will be the second year having the new paddock, and I would say that it is a fairly big success for Churchill Downs themselves. It is a very popular viewing area on Oaks Day and the week leading up to the Derby. Here's a closer look at those stalls where all the racehorses are prior to the race, and patrons can actually pay to be in the club behind them and view the horses from inside. They also have some of these horses that are decorated with art throughout. This is obviously the one to represent Longines. And of course, while you're here at the Downs, you've got to go visit the store where you can get all of your cool merch. And then here's a little look at the backside where they've got all the different vendor booths, which will be totally packed during race week. Here's a cool statue of Hall of Fame jockey Pat Day, who made a name for himself here at Churchill Downs. He won 9 Triple Crown races and 12 Breeders' Cup races.
He's a lot skinnier in that picture.
And then here's again Colonel Matt Wynn and John Asher. And here you can actually see them prepping the red carpet for Derby Day, which of course you can see all of your famous celebrities walk down the red carpet. Alright, that Churchill Downs red carpet. Alright, still waiting to hear from you guys. When are you gonna let me on? They're saying never. I've already got it in. Hey everyone, I wanted to drop in real quick on this video to keep you updated on some news that has occurred since the filming of this video. Hall of Fame trainer Dwayne Lucas passed away on June 28th after contracting MRSA. It was announced a week earlier of his passing that he was retiring because of medical reasons, and he went into hospice care at his residence and chose not to pursue an aggressive treatment plan. Lucas was one of the most recognizable faces in horse racing, with a career spanning 57 years. His purse earnings over his career surpassed $300 million. He started training quarter horses in 1968, training 24 world champions, and then he switched to training thoroughbreds, which he is well known for, with his first win in October of 1977. He won his first Triple Crown race in 1980 with Codex at the Preakness Stakes. He then went on to win the Derby 4 times, Preakness 7 times, and Belmont 4 times. His last Triple Crown win came just last year at the Preakness when he won with Seize the Grey, making him the oldest trainer to win at the age of 88. Not only that, he won a record 20 Breeders' Cup races in the Oaks 5 times. He was also a 5-time Eclipse Award winner, which is like horse racing's version of the Oscars and or Emmys. His horses also won 25 Eclipse Awards. I can remember watching the live coverage of the Derby and watching Lucas speaking with Bob Baffert in the paddock while the horses were preparing to go out onto the track to parade to get to the starting gate. It's kind of just hard to believe that he's now not here when he seemed perfectly fine, not really all that long ago. My heart and thoughts go out to his family, friends, and those close to him who are no doubt grieving. The horse racing world lost a true icon and legend in the business. May he rest in peace. Well, just like that, it is all over. So, happens in a blink of a second, it seems like. Like I said, the horses are only usually out here for about 15 or 20 minutes. So, still a treat to go out here and see them. I recommend coming out here on multiple days if you actually want to try to see all the different horses, because they do not work out all on the same day. You'll see a good majority of them, but probably not all of them. Well, I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, I invite you to subscribe, and you can see what other adventures I get into. Till next time, I'll see you somewhere. Have a good one.